Hello students, in this video I start the chapter 17 is web design. Web designing is a topic in which we mainly focus on creating web pages. What is a web page? Websites, web pages, already. You have access to many websites which consist of many web pages. So any website which gives some information regarding any entity, maybe an institution, a business, or whatever it is, organization, right? A government, private, individual, personal, so many websites. Each website has the collection of all the data and information in terms of the units of the website, which are called web pages. So a website is a collection of web pages. Right? Website is a collection of web pages. Web pages are individual units of a website. So if you access a website, the first page which is displayed for that website is called the home page, right? Home page or index page. It is also called index page. Index page. It is having either the name as home.html or index.html. So which is displayed first when you access a website. So from the home page of a website, we scroll or we deviate to so many other pages, right, which are part of this website. So anyway, a website is a collection of many web pages. And how to construct these web pages, how to create, how to design, which language is used. So that is the thing to discuss in this chapter. And other aspects of having all the different types of components in a web page. For example, we may have to have some text in a web page. Maybe a web page includes some images. There may be some tables to display information in a very organized manner. There can be different paragraphs in text. There can be different other components like a link to another page or a website, which are called hyperlinks. And that is why the text is called hypertext. And there may be a link to another video. So totally, so many components have to be present in the web page. How to insert or how to accommodate all those components into a web page, or how to design a web page. That is our discussion. For that, we learn the basic web designing language, right? The web designing language, which is the HTML. Right. So in this chapter, we study HTML, the basic HTML structure, the tags required, and all those components, how to create the HTML tags. These are called elements of HTML. To study this HTML, basically, HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language or Hypertext Manipulation Language. Hypertext Markup Language. The father of the web, Tim Berners-Lee, he has developed this web formatting language. So this is more of a web formatting language or web design language rather than a programming language. But it is also called the programming language for the web. It is the basic programming language for the web, using which we create or design web pages. That is why it is called web designing language or web formatting language. Hypertext, as I told, what is hypertext? The text containing links to other resources, maybe other websites or other web pages, or maybe other parts of the same document like this. So anyway, hypertext is the text containing the hyperlinks or links. Markup language. So in this language we have various features to present the content. As I told, content may be a collection of text or tables, links, lists, so many other items to present the data. So this text we mark using appropriate elements, which are called the tags. The tags or the elements, right? HTML tag or elements, which are just like the keywords in the language. So all the tags have a definite meaning to the HTML interpreter. The HTML is interpreted by the interpreter, so that we will be having a definite meaning given to the HTML interpreter. So we write a page using various tags to present the content. These are also called elements. So that is why it is called hypertext markup language, using which we identify or format, prepare the text so that it will be displayed in a browser. So the browser understands the HTML through its interpreter. Then whatever we write the text, it will be interpreted as the content which is shown on a browser. So popular browsers, all the browsers of course will basically understand HTML. Now let us see what is the structure of this HTML document. As I told, HTML contains basically tags. These are nothing but the keywords in HTML which will be having a specific meaning to the HTML interpreter. The structure of HTML is as follows. To design any web page, we must follow the same structure. The structure of a web page or structure of a HTML document. What is a web page? It is a HTML document. Web page is nothing but HTML document. What is the structure of this? The structure will start like basically first one is HTML opening tag and closing with a close HTML. This one you have studied in the first year, right? It's just a repetition for you. Right? And still before this, to have a standard HTML structure, we have the doc type element also. That also we can include, like here, doc type, right? Doc type HTML. So doc type element HTML. So this can also be included. I think it is not given in the textbook, so it is not necessary. Anyway, this is a standard tag which has to be included for every HTML on the net. HTML. Next, the head tag. Along with this, the title, the page title here, page title, and close title, then close head. The body tag. Here the body tag which contains all the content here, the content along with the other tags here. Right? So this is called the body tag. So the structure includes the HTML opening tag and the corresponding closing HTML. A close tag will be indicated using a slash before we begin the tag. So tag is that keyword enclosed within a pair of angle brackets, HTML and close HTML. After that, usually the beginning of HTML document is the head section, head and close head tags. Within that, normally we write the title of the page, which is displayed as the title bar. The title, every web browser has a title bar, and on the title bar of the web browser, we display the title of this page. For example, the page, right? The page title. The page title will be displayed along with the tool browser name. Right? In the head, we also include, other than title, some other tags like the script tags. Scripting, web scripting comes later in the same chapter, the next section. Web scripting are required to make the web page more dynamic. VB script, JavaScript or PHP, certain scripting languages are there which make up the HTML structure more interactive. Right? So make it dynamic. So those HTML scripts, including the scripts, have to be included in the head section normally, because head section is loaded first into the browser. That is why those have to be written within script and a close script tag. Then style sheets. There is another way of formatting the web pages that also we learn. Right? These are called style sheets. The style rules have to be included in the head section normally. That is why we write within head and close head. So along with the title. The next comes the very important section of the HTML document, which is the body section. Starting with the body tag, ends with the close body tag. Here, all the content in terms of the paragraphs may include all the text formatting tags like bold, italics, whatever. Basically the text. Next, tables or lists or any other entities whatever you want, images, links, everything comes within the body tag. So this body tag includes the main content to be displayed on the web page. So starting with the open body tag and close body tag and close HTML. So there should be only one pair of open HTML and close HTML. Only one section, body and close body section. And head is also usually only one section. There may not be two sections in the, there should not be actually, only one head section. But as I told, the script section normally is included in the head section, but it can also be included within the body section. There is no rule that only within the head section we have to include other scripting programs or scripts, right? Part of the scripts. Those can also be included within the body tag any number of times. So normal structure of the HTML document includes these tags. Now let us see in detail. So to give examples, I think simple examples already you have written in the last year. So there is no need to give any particular example of this. Now next we study how to have some components like basic formatting of the text. How to format the text. So basic text formatting. Using HTML. So we can write paragraphs. A paragraph is created using the P tag. So before we write the paragraph and the content, so which is having a closing P tag, but which is optional. Right? A pair of P and close P includes one paragraph of text. So text can be written. Right? So wherever we want to have the line break, automatic setting for the line break will be there in the browser, but still the break tag can be included anyway where you want to break a line, start with a new line. So content from here will be starting with the new line. So here is the last character. Next character will be displayed in the next line. So we can insert a break, BR tag, to include a line break anyway. So anyway, the paragraph beginning and ending. So this is a block of text which is identified as one paragraph. If you have to start with another paragraph, write another pair of P, write some text here, any number of lines of text and close P. But since close P is optional, this need not be written. So if you just start another paragraph without closing the previous paragraph, it is understood that the new paragraph has started and the previous paragraph is closed. So this is optional, closing P. You may have or you may not have. Then, regarding the way of writing the tags, I must mention here, like whether you are writing small case or uppercase, anything we can write because HTML is very flexible in that case. We can write the tags either in uppercase or lowercase, but the standard rule says that the tag names must be written in lowercase letters. So as far as possible, the tag names must be in lowercase. So that is the standard practice or the rule to have names of the tags in lowercase. Now, other than simple tags, right, there are attributes. The tags have attributes. What is an attribute? An attribute for a tag will enhance the property of a tag. For example, the paragraph tag has this structure simply, but it has an attribute. The attribute is written within the bracket only, the first pair of brackets, opening tag, like align. Align is equal to, suppose, left, right, like this. So next the text here, next any text. So whatever the text you are writing within P and close P, but the paragraph tag here has an attribute like align. This is one of the simple attribute of a paragraph tag. Almost every tag, except a few tags, have attributes, one or more attributes for every tag in HTML. Align attribute. The name of the attribute is align, and it is written in this format. Property or the attribute name is equal to and the value within a pair of double quotes or single quotes. So this is the value of this property. The property name or the attribute name is align. Specifies some alignment given to the text within the paragraph. So in this case I have given paragraph align is equal to right, means the text in the paragraph should be aligned to the right. So I will draw. So when you have the content shown in the browser, so this is the browser window, the paragraph created will be aligned to the right. I am getting this right alignment. Look at this. The right side of the paragraph has alignment here because the align is given the right value. So if you align it to be left alignment is by default. Even if you don't give the alignment, by default it will be aligned to the left of the page. So alignment is to the left in this case. So left alignment like this. So this will be a line, straight line, alignment to the left alignment. Then alignment to the center. So the text in the paragraph will be aligned centrally like this. So there may be difference in the lengths of different lines of text. Look at this. So different lines may have difference in the length of those lines depending on the number of words, the length of individual words. So for example, whether a line is shorter or lengthy, all lines will be aligned centrally because of the central alignment. Usually you might have observed invitation cards. Invitation cards will be having the lines of the paragraph aligned to the center. So central alignment. There is one more, is justify. Even justify is also available. In MS Word you might have seen justify. Align both sides. So this is also available. Justify. So both the sides here, left as well as right alignment. So this one. Right. So that is called the justify value for align. So anyway, paragraph has an attribute align or the property which can have different values like left by default, right, center and justify. So this is the way to write an attribute for a tag. Now after the paragraph tag, we have the text formatting tags like bold, italics and underline. Bold, the text here becomes bold, close B. Enclose the text within a pair of bold B tags. Not bold but B. B and close B makes the text bolder to appear slightly thicker than the normal text. Then italics to make the text in italicized format, slightly lean to the right, italics. Then underline, this is to underline the text. Text will be by default underline when you apply this. So the text between these two pair of tags, opening and closing U, will be underlined. So these simple text formatting tags you can make use of. There are some other text formatting tags like font. Font tag is not much used in the latest HTML versions, right? But still it is available. Font. The type of the text, the color of the text and the size of the text can be controlled using the font tag. So it has three attributes. Font color, for example, red. Face, suppose Arial. And size is equal to 5. And any text here, any text there, text, whatever the text here, words and close font. The font tag has a closing font tag. Font open along with the attributes. There are three attributes for the font tag: color, face and the size. The color gives a valid color. The color can be given in terms of the name of the color or hexadecimal value. I will tell later in the examples. The property face gives the type of the font, like Arial I have written, then Times New Roman, then Garamond, Impact. So many different types you can find out in MS Word or any other word processing application. different types of the font can be given here, the face. And the next is size. This decides what is the size available in the display. Like basically the base font size is 4. By default it is taken as size 4. It can be 5, it can be 6, it can be 7. So the size can go from 1 to 7 only. 1 to 7. The maximum allowed font size in basic HTML is 7. Beyond that, it is not available in simple HTML, but you have to go for formatting using style sheets. That I will tell you after this basic HTML. So anyway, size, face and color are the 3 attributes of the font tag. So whatever the text you write and enclose with the slash font, closing font tag, the text will become size 5, will be in red color, and the type of that face is Arial. So if you don't close it, if you forget to close font tag, till the end of that page, the document, whatever you write the text, everything will be having this formatting. So you should be very careful. Font tag wherever you open, and after that you must close wherever you need to close it. So font is another text formatting tag. And there are some other tags like small, text here and close small, big, close big, and strong, close strong. So these are some relative type of tags. Like for example, if you enclose whatever the text in between a pair of big and close big tags, the relative size becomes one more bigger than the normal size. If it is already having size 5, big makes it size 6, 1 unit more, right? Similarly, small reduces the size of the text by 1 unit wherever you enclose it. Strong makes it bolder. The bold, instead of the bold, we can also use strong or EM. Emphasize the text, EM, close EM. EM and strong will make the text appearing bold face. So these two are written in place of a bold tag also. So these are some other text formatting tags. Then the formatting may also have some kind of alignment of text. In the paragraph we have seen basic alignment in the paragraph text as the attribute, like paragraph aligns left, right, center or justify. Alignment can also be done using other tags. The center tag. The central alignment can be done using the center tag. There is a tag, independent tag, center. Look at the spelling of the center. It is CENTER. Close and write whatever, close center. So whatever the text you enclose within this pair of center and close center tags, it will be aligned to the center of the page. So writing paragraph with the align is equal to center. Totally maybe 1 or 2 lines of text. Any lines of text we can enclose with the center and close center to align independently. Center. So this is alignment. Then there are some simple after text formatting, some heading levels are there. Heading levels, various heading levels. Some levels of headings will be like H1, close H1. Next H2, close H2, etc. till H6. So 6 levels of headings will be there. Like if you enclose any text here, right, in between H1 and close H1, it will be having the largest font size. Usually the page headings, the heading for the document will be not larger in size. So this will be right in the page, right? This title of the entire document, maybe the chapter name or name of the institution. We can have H1 and close H1, largest size heading. Usually it will be bold face and It is a block structure. And there is no need to have break after headings. If you have one more heading before that, after that, the line break is automatically there. Just like paragraphs. Paragraphs, two different paragraphs will be having line breaks between them. The space will be left, one line space will be left between the two paragraphs, because paragraphs are block content. It is a block type of a tag. So here, the center, for example, the center tag can be used along with this, like close center, to totally align this heading to the center of the page. Because by default, heading H1 or any H1 to H6 will be aligned basically by default to the left of the page. But we can make use of center to align to the center of the page. H2 will be in decreasing size. So from H1, the largest size, H2, the next lower size, next is the smallest size. So this is the smallest sized heading, H6. So if you write in H6, it will be the smallest size of the font. So various levels of sizes, we have different heading levels, which we can include anywhere in the text, right, in between paragraphs, or usually a paragraph will be having heading, paragraph headings. So those will be maybe either H3 or H4 or any, depending on which size we require. So next, the other components like how to insert the lists, the various lists. In HTML, we have basically two types of lists, like ordered list and unordered list. You know, basic ordered list. So, for example, to present a content like 1, like pen, 2, pencil, 3, eraser, like this. So this is a list of items, but this list has a number, right? Number. Each item has a number. This is called the list number, which is the identifier, and this is the list item. So this is also called list marker. Whereas unordered list examples can be having either the solid circle, like apple. Second one, orange. Third one, banana. So this is a list of items where the list marker is a solid circle or a dot. So this is unordered. The meaning is here there is an order for the items. First one, second one, third one. Here any one can be there. All three are just items. So the list marker can be usually by default a disk or a solid circle, or in unordered list. It can also be sometimes like a square, like this square. This is square, solid square. This square. Or it can be a circle also. It can be a circle like this. Or it can be any other user given symbol. The order list also, by default it is 1, 2, 3 number list, or it can also be sometimes small Roman letters, still number, or it can be capital Roman 1, 2 and 3 like this, 4, or it can be alphabets also, even A, B, C, D, either uppercase or lowercase, A, B, C like this. So this numbered or ordered list can come in different varieties, 5 varieties, like either in basic numbers or Roman numbers, lower and upper both, and alphabets, both uppercase and lowercase. So the unordered list can be basically in 3 types: solid circle, a circle and a square. So how to create this we shall see now. First we shall see how to create ordered list. Ordered list is created using the OL tag. OL tag is OL. OL type is equal to, suppose A. Type is A. Here we like the list item within this. This is called LI. LI. Either small case or uppercase. I have written for clarity. For example, this one pen. close li. Second one is pencil, close li. Third one is eraser, close li, and close OL. So this order list, where the list item marker is capital A, has 3 items. So it will be like this: capital A, pen, right? It will be like this: A, B, and C. So that is the order. So if you write type is equal to, right, just for example 1, it will be numbered 1.2.3. So the type is equal to 1 is the default type. So you need not specify altogether. If you don't write anything, just OL, order list, it will by default take number list 1, 2, 3. Now there is a variety. For example, type is equal to 1. You can include start. Start is equal to 5. So an optional starting value for the type can be given using the start attribute. So OL is the tag name, type is also an attribute, and the start can also be given as an attribute. Type specifies the type of the list marker, whether it is numbered or alphabet or Roman, whereas the start gives the starting number. So this list will start with the 5, 6, and 7. So this flexibility we are having in creating ordered lists. Now ordered list can be nested. What do you mean by nesting of ordered list? An ordered list can be within an ordered list, or outer ordered list and inner ordered list. For example, it can be like this. So within, for example, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and 3. So here within 2, within 1, we can have a separate list. Right? So within pen, we can have, suppose, either the inner list can be ordered list or it can be unordered list also. I will write one more ordered list. For example, here within pen, we can have ink pen, ball pen, and gel pen, like these 3 items. So these 3 items can be having lower Roman numbers like this. And next comes the second item in the main list, 2, pencil. Right? In pencil also I can have the different sub lists, like for example 1 HB, 2 HB, right? Something like this. So this can be either ordered or can be unordered also, as I told. So in this case, the sub list under the pencil, so this will be an unordered list having by default this or the solid circle as the list marker. So next comes, so mainly it is the outer numbered ordered list like this one. So how to create this? You must have within this one, instead of writing the item here, so here you must have another ordered list. So the first item you write li should be there. It is pen. Right. Here, before closing this li, here you should have once again ordered list. OL type is equal to this one. Li, it's li. It is ink pen. Close li, close li. Li, it is ball pen, close li, and li, gel pen, close li, and closing of this OL, closing of this inner OL, see, closing of this inner OL, and closing of this li, this one, close li, correct? So next item of the outer list, pencil. So here this li, pencil, and next the 2 items coming under this inner list. So here you should write OL. How to create unordered list here? Here list is unordered. So UL and type. Type is equal to by default list there. That's it. And the remaining two items, same LI. So how to create nested lists? A list within another list. So outer list anyway. Accordingly you have LI. Within that each list item you have a separate totally another type of the list, maybe ordered or unordered, along with its own complete structure with close and opening tags, along with their list items. Next item of the previous, this item. So these are the list items of the previous outer list. So that's how you can create a nested list. Now the same way as we create an ordered list, we can also create unordered lists. Unordered list, the same structure, but the tag used is UL instead of OL. So here it is unordered UL, but the type here is either disk. So either it can be disk by default, the solid circle, or it can be square. So this type of, or circle, this type of the mark. So three types of list markers will be available in the unordered type. So where other structure is list item only, whatever you write, close LI, any number of LIs, and close UL. So this is the structure of unordered list. So all the nesting also you can do already as you given. So these are the two types of lists available in HTML, like ordered and unordered. There is another type of list available which is not mentioned in the syllabus, which is called the definition list, the third. So there are other types of lists other than ordered and unordered. Definition list, which is having the tag DL and the structure like close DL. And the menu list, menu, these are some other types of lists available in HTML. Next tags I will discuss in the next class.